Remote desktop is one of the coolest tools that they've ever put in this operating system. Everybody uses it. This has become a staple. There are some security issues that you need to be aware of and work around. You need to go out to Microsoft's website and see about securing remote desktop connections. But let me first of all show you how to set it up and then how to connect to it. Okay, if you go into Server Manager, I'm in Windows Server 2008 here. If you click on the Server Manager shortcut down here on the quick launch bar, you will notice on the very first screen that shows up on your server summary, it tells you remote desktop is disabled, and there's a link right here to configure remote desktop. Okay, so I will simply click that link, and it takes me to the system properties with the remote tab already up there for me. And notice I can tell it don't allow connections, allow connections from computers running any version of remote desktop. Notice that's less secure. Then I can also choose connections only from computers running remote desktop with network level authentication. Alright, so I'm going to leave it on this one just for the demo, and then I can select the users, and then I can automatically tell, well, not automatically, but I can tell it that what users can connect to this computer. And notice that any members of the administrator group can connect even if they're not listed. So you can actually just go in and add your users that can connect to this thing. Okay, well, I'm part of the administrators, and so I don't need to add myself. So I'm going to apply this and say OK. And what you will see when this refreshes, and I'm just going to hit, let me go to, well, they don't have one here. Let me right click. We don't have a refresh. What I'm going to do is close and reopen the old Microsoft reboot scenario. And notice the snap-ins are completing, and you can see in the background there that remote desktop has been enabled. Okay, now at this point what I can do is connect with a client. Notice this is my desktop. I'm logged in as an administrator, and let me put something on here. I'm going to put a new text document called mark.txt. Okay, so there's my desktop, and now through the magic of virtualization, I'm going to drag into the video here a virtual window, and in this virtual window I'm running my Vista client. Okay, so what we're looking at now is the client. And so what I'm going to do is from the client I'm going to click on Start, then I'll go into Accessories, and you'll notice Remote Desktop Connection, and so I will simply click on that, and I will put the IP address for my server, click Connect, and it's going to ask me for some credentials, and I will put those in. It'll take it just a second here to think about it and make the connection, and then you're going to see I will actually connect to that server, and here's some really cool stuff I can do with this. Okay, so we'll give it just a second here. Hello. And here we go. We just connected. Notice we're waiting for the session manager. You'll notice at the top it's showing us that we're basically connected to that IP address. And notice there's my desktop. Okay, now I'm on the Vista machine. Notice if I click right here to restore this down, and let me pull this down, you'll see that I'm connected to the desktop in a window, but I'm in Vista. Okay, I'm going to make it full screen again, and notice that I can do I can hit here and see my server manager and run it just as if I'm connected locally to the server. Okay, now that's pretty wild. It's an incredible functionality. Now I want to show you one thing here, okay, and this is a little bit bizarre, but if I move the client back so that you can see the server, you'll notice that it logged me off, okay, because the remote desktop connection will only allow one login at a time. So, and usually it'll throw up a box warning you that it's going to log off whoever's there. Now, when I'm done with this, and I just made it full screen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Start, and then I'm just going to tell it to log off, and you'll notice I'm logging off, and I'm back to Vista, and I'm no longer in the remote desktop and I'm going to move the client away again, and now I'm back on my Windows server. Okay, real cool functionality, very easy to put up. Keep in mind, you can do this across the internet. You can do all kind of things. You want to use a really strong password because you are exposing your server's administrative functionalities to the internet. Go out and look at some security information on Microsoft's website before doing that. But I just wanted you to see basically remote desktop, how easy it is to set up, how incredible it is to use.